You bought the high-end food, the orthopedic bed, and the toys they ignored after 30 seconds. You walk them every single morning, even when it is raining, because you want the best for them. And yet, somewhere in the back of your mind, you still wonder if they actually feel the depth of that effort. Behavioral science tells us that dogs do not experience love through grand gestures or expensive gifts. Instead, they feel it through biological micro-moments, which are small and repeatable interactions that shape their nervous system more than any premium kibble ever could. Most owners are already doing these things, but they are doing them just slightly off. That tiny gap between almost right and actually right is exactly where your dog's emotional world lives. We are looking at 7 signs grounded in neuroscience, oxytocin research, and cortisol studies. One of these signs involves doing absolutely nothing at all, and it might carry more weight than everything else on this list combined. Sign number 1, soft eye contact. Back in 2015, researchers at Azabu University in Japan made a discovery that completely changed how scientists think about the human-dog relationship. They found that when a dog and a human share soft, mutual eye contact, oxytocin levels rise in both species at the same time. This is the bonding hormone, the same chemical that surges between a mother and her newborn baby. To see if this was just a coincidence, the researchers ran the same experiment with wolves that had been raised by humans from birth. Even though these animals knew people and were comfortable around them, nothing happened. This feedback loop did not just appear in domesticated animals by accident. It evolved specifically between dogs and humans over thousands of years of coexistence, and it exists nowhere else in the animal kingdom. For breeds in the herding group, this instinct runs even deeper than usual. Border collies and Australian shepherds were selectively developed for sustained visual communication with their handlers across open fields. So for them, eye contact is the very language they were built to speak. When your dog looks up at you, do not immediately glance away, but hold that gaze softly for a few seconds. In that moment, the chemistry of attachment is literally running in both directions at once. Eye contact is one channel, but your voice is another, and your dog is processing it in ways most people do not expect. Sign number 2, your voice and words together. You know the voice I'm talking about. It is that slightly higher pitch, an exaggerated warmth you would never dream of using in a professional meeting. While it might feel a bit silly, it turns out that specific voice is more than just endearing, because it is actually biologically effective. Most people miss a fascinating nuance here, which is that your dog is not just responding to your tone of voice. Brain imaging research shows that dogs process language using patterns very similar to our own, with the left hemisphere handling words and the right side focusing on emotional tone. The most important discovery was that reward responses in their brains only fully activate when both of those elements are present at the same time. If you use a warm tone with meaningless words, you only get a partial response, and the same thing happens if you deliver meaningful words in a flat, robotic way. Your dog is waiting for the combination of the two. They are constantly running a silent analysis of the rhythm of your sentences and the emotional weight behind them, while simultaneously listening for the specific words they have learned to associate with good things. This sensitivity is especially refined for companion breeds in the toy group. Dogs like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels and Maltese were not developed for fieldwork or guarding, but were instead bred for closeness and the ability to read a single person's emotional state with total precision. Their deep attunement to the human voice is less of a personality trait and more of a genetic inheritance they have carried for centuries. You should never feel the need to apologize for talking to your dog like a small, beloved person, because science is entirely on your side. Sign number 3, the homecoming ritual. For years, the standard advice was to ignore your dog the moment you walked through the door. The idea was to avoid reinforcing their excitement by waiting until they were perfectly calm before saying hello. While that reasoning seemed to make sense at the time, newer behavioral evidence suggests something much more profound is happening when you arrive home. A warm greeting that includes your dog's name, direct eye contact, and physical touch triggers a massive hormonal shift that helps with stress relief and secure attachment. You can actually watch this physical change move through their entire body in real time as the tail starts moving, the shoulders drop, and they let out a long exhale. That reaction is not just simple excitement, but is actually a sense of relief that their primary attachment figure has finally returned. Dogs are creatures of ritual, and practicing consistent warm homecomings does more than just create a happy moment in the hallway. Over time, these interactions build a deep sense of emotional safety that stays with them long after you have put your keys away. Breeds in the sporting group feel this connection especially acutely. Because retrievers and spaniels were developed to work in constant proximity to a single handler, the bond meant everything to their survival and success. For these dogs, the act of separation and reunion carries real emotional weight rather than just being a burst of behavioral energy. The first 30 seconds you spend together when you get home really do matter, so make sure you use them. Sign number 4, the decompression walk. Humans usually walk to cover distance, but dogs walk to gather information. To your dog, a smell is far more than just a scent, as it acts like a timestamp or an emotional record left behind by another animal. Scent is the primary way they read the world. So when we pull them past every interesting spot on the sidewalk, we are essentially asking them to walk through a library with their eyes closed. One specific study found that dogs given the freedom to sniff and explore at their own pace showed much more optimistic emotional states than dogs kept to strict, controlled walking patterns. Even when the duration of the walk was exactly the same, the mental results were night and day. This shift in perspective is what trainers now call a decompression walk, or a sniffari, where you stop being the guide and start being the companion. For breeds in the hound group, this kind of mental engagement is a genetic necessity rather than a luxury. For a beagle or a basset hound, processing scents is their entire purpose, and restricting that natural drive creates measurable psychological stress instead of just simple boredom. You should let them stop at the tree or circle back to the same patch of grass 3 times, because what looks like nothing to you is everything to them. Sign number 5, play, praise, and the toy in your lap. For decades, a common piece of advice in training circles was to never let your dog win at tug of war. The old theory suggested that winning builds dominance and leads to behavioral issues, but modern science has quietly dismantled that idea. Dogs allowed to win during play do not become controlling, and they actually become more engaged and attentive toward their owners afterward. Winning deepens their investment in the relationship rather than the hierarchy, but the final score is not actually the point. Your emotional presence matters more than who holds the toy, and genuine laughter or joyful energy reduces stress hormones more effectively than any structured interaction. Your dog is not tracking points, but they are definitely tracking how much you are enjoying the game with them. You might notice a specific moment where your dog walks over and drops a toy in your lap without barking or pawing for attention. They are not necessarily asking you to throw it, but are instead choosing to share a valued object with someone they feel safe around. This is a social gesture rooted in deep history, similar to how a wolf might bring food back to the den for the rest of the pack. Brain imaging research has shown that simple praise activates reward centers in many dogs at levels that often match or beat the excitement of food. For breeds in the working group, like Labradors and Golden Retrievers, this need for connection is built into their DNA through generations of cooperative work. A calm good boy or a relaxed smile accumulates over time, creating a dog that moves through the world with confidence because they know they are loved. Sign number 6 and number 7, presence and emotional co-regulation. Sign 6 requires almost no effort from you, and that is exactly why most people skip it. Research shows that dogs experience a measurable drop in cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone, just by being near a calm human. This does not happen because of training, play, or food, but simply from sitting beside someone whose nervous system is settled. Proximity to a regulated person acts as biological medicine for a dog, and they feel the effects almost instantly. This works because dogs do not experience emotional safety as an abstract idea. They read your state through scent changes in your body, the rhythm of your breathing, and the tension or softness in your posture. A calm owner does more than just feel good to be around, because a calm owner tells a dog's nervous system that the environment is safe. That is sign 6, but sign 7 is where things get a bit more uncomfortable. This sensitivity runs in both directions, meaning your dog absorbs your anxiety with the same precision it absorbs your calm. They pick up on the low-grade tension you carry after a difficult day or the distraction of scrolling through your phone while you sit next to them. Behavioral scientists call this emotional co-regulation, which means your dog's nervous system is in a constant conversation with yours. When you are dysregulated, they feel it, and when you carry unresolved tension into a room, many dogs will mirror that energy. For high-drive breeds in the terrier group, this connection is especially unforgiving. Jack Russell Terriers and Scottish Terriers are acutely sensitive to the emotional state of their owners. Their barking, restlessness, and inability to settle often reflect an emotional environment that never fully quiets down rather than a training failure. The most powerful thing you can do for your dog involves doing nothing else at all. Once a day, put the phone down so there is no task, no background noise, and no half attention. Sit next to your dog and let them feel the difference between a person who is truly present and a person who is merely there. Your dog has been reading you since the moment you walked in, and the real question is what they have been finding. Love is never stored in one grand gesture for a dog. It is built through eye contact held a second longer, a voice that means something, and a walk that goes at their pace. Every small moment, from a game played with real joy to a hand that reaches over without needing a reason, either builds that world or quietly erodes it. They feel all of it, even if they can never tell you. Conclusion. Your dog is not waiting for a perfect moment because they are already reading every small one you give them. If this changed how you see your relationship with your dog, subscribe to the Dog Society for more canine psychology and breed science. We explore the real story behind the human-dog bond, and the next video is already waiting for you.